You guys hit on that whole, like, why does a company serve?
Well, when we get to the customer's problems,
Mm-hmm.
what we're looking for is the why.
Okay.
The why is, why does that customer care about that product?
Okay.
Why should they care?
Right.
And so there was an ad campaign that hasn't been on the air for a long, long time, but if you Google it, it's still out there.
Okay.
It was for McDonald's. And for 13 years, they ran this campaign, and it was phenomenal for them. And it's to me the simplest example of what the why is.
Mm-hmm.
So what's McDonald's about? Fast food,
and be happy.
hamburgers,
Yeah. Super cheap.
shakes, chicken nuggets.
Right. If you can call them chicken nuggets.
But their ad campaign was, you deserve a break today. You deserve a break today, so get up and get away to McDonald's. Well, what was happening at that time, moms were just getting into the workforce in full force.
Right.
But they didn't give up their regular job, keeping the kids.
Yeah.
So they were kind of strung out, even more than they are now, because
Right.
we're a little bit used to it. But, they were still doing soccer practice and piano,
Right.
but now working 9 to 5.
Right.
So McDonald's realized that what they represented was not a meal, not even a fast meal. What they represented was a break.
Yeah.
Well, that resonated with the moms.
Right.
Hey, I deserve a break every now and then. Just don't cook tonight. We go to McDonald's and let the kids play.
Right. Yeah.
That's the why.
Yeah.
So most people, when you say, okay, what's your customer's problem? Well, they're hungry. They need a quick meal cheap.
Right.
They need a quick meal. They need it on the go. Well, all those things a lot of companies can say.
Mm-hmm.
But the only one that was saying you deserve a break today that really hit the why
Right.
was McDonald's.
Yeah, so it's not a different product, it's a different purpose in the
Exactly.
product, a different experience.
Well, okay, so here's something you can relate to. Why in the world would you pay $4 or $5 for a cup of coffee? What is it Starbucks has?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a social experience.
Right.
It's a place to hang out with your friends or by yourself, but be in an atmosphere that you like.
Right.
You got Wi-Fi, and you occasionally see people you like, and you're enjoying another thing that's kind of trending now, and it's a moment of private pleasure.
Yep. Yeah, you're not necessarily paying for the item as much as
It's
whole
the
feeling
experience.
of. It's kind of like Apple users. Now, Apple users are great. I mean, computers are fantastic, but you're paying for that being part of the community of Apple as well. I feel
That's
like
definitely a part of it.
so that's I never heard that campaign at McDonald's. I'm definitely gonna look that up when I get home. But it's interesting that they would just change if you just shift the ideology behind it, and not necessarily have to change a whole lot of what you're doing, but simply how you're going about it or who you're reaching.
It's the why.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that. All right, so for our class, we're all entrepreneurs of some sort, and the game plan is to build our own businesses down the road, similar to what you've done. And so, for an entrepreneur, someone who's trying to start up their own business, what do you think a key to marketing right off the bat for someone who's starting a brand new business? What do you think like a key that you want to reach them with would be?
Well, I hope you decided to create something that somebody really needs, and you have a reason why they need it.
You can answer if you need.
No, it's ringing out there. It just happens to be ringing again.
You're not getting paid for this, so you can take calls if you need to.
Thank you. You better have a really good. You better be solving a problem that somebody's got, and solving it better than somebody else is.
Yeah.
That's what innovation is.
Right.
A creative solution to a problem.
Right.
So, hopefully, that's where you start.
Right.
Because if you're making a product that's a Me Too product, that makes your job way harder.
Right.
So if you do the work at the front end and figure out a creative solution to the problem, this whole food delivery thing, Waiter and Jubhub and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, who knew there was? It's like a $15 billion business right now.
Oh no, it's crazy.
delivering food like from McDonald's. You can
a drive-through place that you should go pick up yourself.
Yeah.
Taking
So
one step out of it.
what happened is that those companies recognized that people are just staying at home.
Right.
They're lost in their computer, doing whatever it is they're doing,
Right.
and then suddenly they go, "Oh man, I'm hungry."
Yeah.
And they don't want to stop what they're doing, so they just send out for the food.
Right.
So they've got a creative solution to a problem.
Right.
They've figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, you're starting a business. You better be doing something creative, and delivering something about it needs to be unique.
Right.
So if you got that, then turn that into the why. Get that message out to your people. Now, the best marketing is the marketing that reaches the ears and eyes of the people that you're trying to reach, trying to sell to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how you do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's social media or traditional media. I told you I used to be in AM radio. AM radio still exists.
Yeah.
There's people still listen to it.
Yeah.
It's not the mass thing that it used to be.
Right.
But it still has value, just as newspaper does and always will. TV's the same. It's all changing. So you just got to figure out how to reach your people.
Right.
And you got to start off the most inexpensive way you can.
Yeah.
I would recommend you start off not only just inexpensive, but on a very narrow test market. So find an easy way to reach your audience. Present your product. If they buy it, then something's right.
Right.
If they didn't buy it, it won't matter if you put it on national TV.
Right. Right.
You put it on the Super Bowl, and if nobody wants it,
nobody's gonna buy it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. It definitely does. Yeah. Something that you said there reminded me of something else I read as I continue to read down on the revision page. You mentioned a hot air balloon, and I was more or less just curious what that ad campaign was for that you were doing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure I remember the hot air balloon.
Maybe okay. Never mind then. Maybe it was some sort of I don't remember this. I was just curious if I said something about, maybe it wasn't hot air balloons, something about balloons. Maybe I'm wrong then.
I don't know.
Yeah, I might go back and read it again and send it over to you and see.
Well, yeah.
I was just curious what company would use that. But so for marketing then, and we've been going through class, and probably my thing that I'm not the biggest fan of, just because my personality or maybe is like market research. But like, what do you think the hardest part of marketing is? So like, whether it's finding the right clients, and whether it's like, how to hit those clients or possible.
Well, the hardest part is whatever I said you should start.
Okay. Yeah.
Finding the right product that is truly unique.
Right.
Presenting it in a unique way.
Okay.
And then getting the right message, finding the why.
Okay.
It's easy to just open up a business and start doing what somebody else is doing.
Right.
And that's so then that's the new hard part. If you didn't do the other work, then you've got the hard work part of selling.
Right. Yeah.
But if you've done that other part, that's where the work usually gets overlooked. Everybody just thinks, "Oh, I can be better at this than somebody else."
Right.
And
usually not.
If you spend the time actually doing something to make your product better, solve a problem better, and then come up with that why, that's the hard part.
Do you feel like, I know like was that many businesses don't live past 5 years or whatever, and I feel like part of that might be because they don't ever do the beginning steps of trying to do something better than someone else. They just think, I can open a sandwich shop, or I can open a t-shirt store or whatever. It's like, you can technically, but that's how are you going to go about competing with that guy over there and everyone else?
Well, 9 out of 10 businesses fail in the first 12 months.
Okay. Yeah.
And of those that do make it past 12 months, 9 out of 10 of those are gone before 10 years.
Right.
And and usually it's because poor management or lack of capital is what they generally say. But if you go into it thinking it's going to be easy, that you don't have to work 80 hours a week,
right,
or that it won't take a
lot of your time.
You know, I didn't start with a whole lot of money. I just borrowed all I could borrow, which was $7,000. I spent almost all of it on the first purchase to buy my studio equipment.
Yeah.
But to be able to get the business going, it was just me, and I had to work 3 other jobs to help keep
Supplement it. Yeah.
to keep my family going and get the business off the ground.
Yeah.
So and I still work a lot of hours. There's never a time when it gets easy.
Right.
Never. Because the competition's always out there.
Someone's always looking to be better and stomp you out.
That's right. And you always have to be learning and growing. Always.
Yeah. So, I guess that's probably, but my next question would be, what's the hardest part of owning your own agency?
People.
Okay.
You know, if it wasn't for employees and customers, everything would be easy.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, you know, there's a big challenge now with everybody I know has a hard time hiring the right people, training the right people, and getting them to stay. Unfortunately, millennials think 2 years is like a long, long time.
Right.
And that you can change 3 jobs 3 times in 2 years, which is not a good practice. You can do it.
Yeah.
And so changing that mentality to think more long term and to be more, you know, committed to a job, that's a challenge. But it's, you know, so right now it's hard for everybody that's hiring people.
Yeah. I can imagine.
It's tight, and people want to work differently than they used to work.
Would you? I mean, you're talking about like how to start your own business and how that's like